Hello everybody, I wanted to show you my new PT111 G2 pistol. It's from Taurus, and this particular pistol I actually won from gunblast.com, so I want to thank Jeff and Bogue and everyone else over there who works hard on that website to review good products. Hopefully I'll do them a little justice with my own review. But let's start with the things I liked, and I did shoot this pistol today, about a couple hundred rounds. The fit and finish is very good. I think Taurus knows that they're competing with the likes of SIG, and Smith has the new Shield, so these compact 9mm are pretty hot right now. So the fit and finish is very good. It actually comes with the ramp is polished, which is not a big deal if it's not, but there's no tool marks on it. It's nice and shiny. So one last thing I had to do. The recoil is very manageable. As you know, it does have double strike capability. I won't go over the things you can look up online because, you know, what's the point? But I will let you know the issues I had with the pistol. I also liked that it came with this little tool. One is to lock the pistol with the Taurus security lock. The other one was a nice little screwdriver to adjust the sights. So having adjustable sights on a little pistol is a very nice thing. So most people don't own a little screwdriver, so that was good. Like I said, the overall fit and finish is very good. I've been inside Glocks and SIGs and other pistols, so I know when it's when it's good and when it's not. And the overall fit and finish and quality is a step above what I think Taurus normally produces. I did get to shoot it a little, so let me show you guys what I was actually shooting. So of course ammo's pretty limited these days, so I had to kind of use what I had. So I used 3 different loads today. One was Barry's bullet, which is a little bit of bullseye in with the plated round. Normally that's a recipe for great accuracy, but the first 50 rounds or so were pretty wild out of this gun. So either it settled in or I settled in, but eventually I started shooting a little better. The best groups I shot were with my cast bullets. So here was sort of some of the first cast rounds I shot. It's pretty wide for 15 yards, but this is just a little mold. I cooked up some of these last night. They're pan lubed, and I'll have the recipes later in the video. But the last magazine I fired of the cast rounds before I ran out was what I expect out of a handgun at 15 yards. It's not as good as my GP100, but that's acceptable for a defensive pistol. I also fired some NATO rounds, again a little wide. I didn't have a whole lot. I just brought 10 of these rounds. I did some, this was the only times I shot a target. The other 5 I used on just to test the velocity. So these are like a plus P round, basically 124 grain. So as far as energy goes, out of that 3.2 inch barrel, the bullseye round was 277 foot-pounds. The cast bullet comes out a little heavy. I measured it at 128 grains, supposed to be 125. That was the weakest, but it did have the best accuracy, so that's the one I would rather have with me. The NATO, impressive, 344 foot-pounds. That's low 357 Magnum territory, where the others 2 I can duplicate with a plus P round, usually a 38 plus P, just to put it in perspective. So now a couple things I didn't like about the pistol. Well, that tool that I liked so much, it doesn't really work. So this little screw here is too shallow, or the tool is too thin, but all it would do is start to strip the screw, so I quit messing with it. I couldn't do my elevation adjustment, which I wanted to do. It's firing a little bit low, so that needs adjustment, but I can do that with a different screwdriver. One of the few failures I had today, one was with the cast bullet. It was sort of nose up as a slide closed. Again, it was brand new pistol and the loads were untested. It was the only time it happened, but I'll blame myself more than the pistol for that one. But the other failure kind of has to do a little bit with the user, a little bit with the design. Is when I fire this, especially when I get a high grip on it, my thumb is very close to that safety, and it doesn't take very much pressure to turn it on. It takes a little bit more to turn it off. So what that means is when I fired it, I bumped it, and one time I bumped it, it just, okay, what's happening? Push it down and it went back, boom again. The second time, it must have happened in mid-stroke, but for some reason the cartridge didn't extract. So I looked at my loaded chamber indicator. I said, oh, there's a round still in there. Let's do that double strike, which I like, but still no boom. So I ended up extracting the shell, and it was just stuck in there. It went off, but it was still in there. So another tap and rack got rid of that one. Trigger pull's pretty good. There's a little bit of a take up in double action mode. It's not too bad. Single action, there's the take up, there's the where it breaks. If it fires, there's the reset, very small, and there's your second shot. So the trigger, I would say, is pretty good for a pistol like this, but I just wish it didn't have that thumb safety. Just to show you the difference, here's my 45. This is way out of the way, and it's a very thin profile here. So you can easily forget this safety and ignore it if you don't like it. And again, here's my P38. The thumb safety is way up there. It's hard to reach it unless you deliberately try to reach that safety. So those are good examples of a thumb safety. This, I would probably wish it didn't have one, because of the problem I had. The last thing I had problem with, it was a little bit with the magazine. Okay, so if you insert the magazine just right, it gets hung up, especially with a round in there. So basically, where you have the little slot in here where the magazine kind of locks in, may be hard for you to see that, but it can sort of get hung up on the lip. And a couple times I went to put in the magazine. Now it's oily because I just cleaned it, but I would, even hit it a couple times, and I had to get the right angle for it to go in. So that's something you can fix with training, but I haven't had that problem with any of my other pistols, so I don't know. But that's the pistol. I rate it pretty high. If I were to trust it, I think I would. It's a good high capacity, small package. I'm going to try some more ammo when it becomes more available, and I'm going to try it out and see if I can find something that hits hard and is accurate and doesn't give me as many troubles. But what I would prefer is still my revolvers, but that's just me, what I'm comfortable with. So there's my review.